On August 18, 2022, while we were anchored in Porto Corsica, we had no idea there was a Derecho coming towards us. A Derecho is a storm similar to a hurricane or a tornado, only in a straight line, so no swirling. This one ran all the way from Majorca, Manorca, through Corsica and up to mainland Europe, to Italy, Austria, Slovenia, and eventually to south of the Czech Republic, causing great damage and 12 deaths along its route. Some weather models anticipated the storm in a way, but only in a way, not really accurate. Most of them actually completely missed it, making it invisible if you didn't look at the right model. In Corsica alone, the wind got up to 225 km per hour, which are 140 miles per hour. 5 people died, most of them on land, and there were more than 125 water rescues. Luckily, we were not one of them.
So on that morning, it was supposed to be windy, about 30 knots of wind, and in the bay that we were anchored, it's supposed to be around 16 knots of wind, so it was pretty protected. But we knew it's going to be rainy day.
And we even talked to the kids and we told them that if it's not going to be comfortable enough, then we can always go to shore and just stay there and hang out for the day.
Yep. And we started just to prepping the boat for the weather, especially for the rain. We just started to close all the hatches and everything. We were anchoring near a big cliff, and I was staring at the cliff, on the top of the cliff, and I saw this white cloud, really white cloud coming in from the cliff. And we just were staring in front of the boat. We just saw another white cloud just approaching us very fast.
It was like a wall.
It was like a wall.
Cloud that just comes towards us super fast. And we went to the back of the boat and we closed everything so not everything will get soaked. And a few seconds later, it just hit us. It felt like the whole boat was swirling around, and we started, and then it stopped, and I could feel the pull of the boat.
We didn't understand in the beginning. It was really intense until our anchor watch started beeping.
At that moment, we realized that it was something bigger, and I went inside with the kids. Sergei went up to look at what's happening outside, and I took the kids indoors and I gave them the tablet and I sent them to Gaz's room, which is on the back side of the port side of the boat, and we just told them, okay, take the tablet and just watch whatever. We're going to handle everything and make sure that we're not dragging to shore. And then I came back here and I saw Sergei at the helm station just keeping watch of all the boats that were around us.
I understand that we are dragging, but I didn't see anything because we were inside the cloud. I didn't see anything. I couldn't understand that we were actually going back.
We were only keeping watch at the boats around us to see if we are getting close to them.
I started the engines and we turned on the navigation, and as I turned on the navigation, it just stuck on 65 knots of wind, and it was after the big blow. I just started moving forward a little bit with the motors, and we were dragging from we were anchored at 10 meters depth, and we were dragging about 20 meters to 40 meters back to the shore, and we stopped the dragging at 6 meters of depth. And at that stage, we were looking back on the boats that were behind us, and we saw just one boat slammed on the shore. And we understand we are in a bad situation, but we are a little bit in control.
Yeah, when we got the anchor to grab at 6 meters depth, we calmed down a little bit. So I went downstairs and I got the boys out, and it was a pretty interesting situation to watch because they were all downstairs in the room, and they came upstairs, and God was talking. He was talking all the time about everything. And yeah, he saw the boat. He saw the boat slamming on the shore, and he was like this, and he was like that, and he just kept on talking. And then Bao, on the other hand, he was just really, really quiet and trying to observe everything that happened and still happening. And then All was holding the tablet, but you could see that he was very, very shaky. I think at that moment we also put on the life vest that we didn't do before. We just didn't realize how crazy it's going to be. And I remember I was lying down on the sofa inside, and I was holding Bao and I was holding All really close, and I just sent God outside because he was creeping everyone with the boat that crashed on the shore, and he was really scared, scaring everyone else. So I just sent him outside to stare again.
But Gal saw how the boat is going to the shore and how it slammed to the shore. As we were watching that, I was pretty calm, and I'm trying to calm Gal because as I saw the guy with the boat, he just went downstairs and he just went to the shore, and that's it. He just left his boat and he was okay. It's starting a little bit to calm down, although it was pretty windy, around 30 knots, but the waves were picking up very, very quickly, and they were around 3-4 meters of waves. They were just slamming the boat, and we were just slamming up and down. All the boats that were on the anchor, there were 9 boats. They were all dragging, except maybe one boat. They were all dragging, and they were all trying somehow to pick up their anchor and to re-anchor in another place. And with these waves, it was really, really impossible. And it was really crowded, and we were the only one who just stopped dragging. That's when we understood we need to re-anchor. So I told Adi, okay, we need to go back about 50 meters from the shore and re-anchor again, because we don't know if the anchor is gonna hold. And we just, Adi was on the help station. She was driving the boat, and it was really, really
It was terrifying. It was terrifying. He put the life vest on, and he went out, and I couldn't hear him because of the wind and the waves and all the noise that was around us. And I was holding the wheel, and he told me where to go so he could take the anchor out. And I was just watching him, like all his movements, so I know what to do. And then he told me, okay, you need, once the anchor was out, he told me where I need to go to in order to re-anchor, and I had to go between 2 boats, 2 sailboats.
They were dragging.
They were dragging. It was 3 meters waves, still very windy. My husband is outside on the anchor, and the 3 boys are in the living room scared. And I had to somehow navigate between all of that, and I was a month on the boat. I'm not a sailor, and I was freaked out. I was shivering through my whole body, and I was holding the wheel, and I put the throttle on, and I moved it forward, and I somehow was able to navigate with his help.
No, she navigated really, really good. She was freaked out, but she did everything according to plan. We dropped the anchor again at the same spot as we were originally. We put the anchor, and everything was okay.
And then everything calmed down, I think.
And then it was calmed down, except of the waves. Yeah. The waves are really, really high. And the next thing that happened, there were some tourist boats, really fast tourist boats. They came out from Porto. They came to each boat and said, "Let's go. We will take you to shore." And then one of the boats came to us. And he came to me and said, "Okay, let me take the kids and you, and let's go to the shore, because it's going to be much worse than it was before." And I told the first boat, "No, I'm not going anywhere. Let me think for 2 minutes. I want to discuss it with my wife." He said, "Okay, I will come back in 5 minutes, and I will come take you." And
he came inside, and he looked at me, and he said, "Okay, they are evacuating everyone you go with the kids and I'll stay here with the boat. And I just looked at him and I said, hell no. We're together in it. And then we just looked at each other and we said, it's us. We're more important than the boat. And we decided that we will evacuate. We didn't know what the weather forecast was.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We had no idea. We trusted them. They told us that
It's going
the
to be hard.
situation is going to be harder, that they expect something bigger to come at night. Nobody really knew, and we didn't trust the weather app anymore. And more than that, we didn't have reception at the moment, so we just trusted them and we made the decision that it's us. And from the second the decision was made, each one of us just grabbed a bag and we went to the separate halls and just grabbed some clothes, computers, passports, wallets, and then 3 minutes later they came back.
It was pretty surreal because it's like your life-changing decision and you need to do it now. It's like in every movie that you watch, and it was just in one minute you need to decide if you're evacuating your home, and you will, I don't know if you're gonna see your home again and what's gonna happen, but it was really clear to us both. We didn't argue, we just looked at each other and we said we are going, because this is just a thing. We can replace it, but we cannot replace each other and not replace our family and the kids and us. This is the most important thing.
When the boat came back, we took the kids and we were hugging everyone on the boat and we told them, listen, the ground crew is money. It's us that we need to save. And then the boat, the tourist boat, just came from the side because they didn't even, they couldn't come from the back of the boat because the waves were just so high. And Sergei just lifted each one of the kids and just moved them above the railing and to the hands of this stranger who came to evacuate us.
In 3-meter waves, yeah. It wasn't that. It was pretty hard to evacuate the kids because our boat was really jumping and their boat was really jumping, and they were amazing. Those guys were amazing. We just left the boat and we went with the guys to the fishing port. All the boats that were dragging with us, they evacuated too. So everybody was evacuated. Nobody knew what to expect next because everybody thought it's going to be much worse. And we came back to the beach, and it was surreal because there was nothing. It was pretty calm. There were a little bit of waves, and that's it. We were standing on the beach with our life vests on, and us and so families,
so shaky.
And we were just hugging each other, and we said, "That's it. This is us. We are okay, and this is the most important thing."
Yeah, we were just sitting on the beach. I remember I took a video of myself and I tried to call the family, but I had no reception. I didn't think about it anymore. We hugged, we cried, everyone. We just cried it out. And we were just sitting at the beach trying to reconcile everything that just happened to us. So we had to evacuate. We had 60 knots wind this morning and the waves were very high. Weather is going to continue this way for the next 24 hours, so people came out to rescue us and take us to the beach. We decided not to stay on board, not to take any risks with the kids, so we're currently here somewhere. We're gonna find a hotel for breakfast, crossing our fingers that the boat will be okay. It is the toughest thing we had to do, but it was definitely the scariest morning ever. Not only that, we felt really bad physically. It was terrifying to be on a boat. A boat that was anchored behind us got crashed on the shore. I'll show you. And there's another catamaran that almost hit the rocks on the other side of the bay. So we're grateful and thankful for the people who came to take us out And we're crossing our fingers and praying that tomorrow morning the boat will still be here.
And then we started walking into the town, and that's when we really realized what happened there with all the trees that were down. And it took us more than a few coffee shops to realize that everything is closed and they don't have electricity. And the reason that we don't have reception is because everyone don't have reception.
We don't have communications, no electricity, no nothing.
Nothing. And we just started to understand how big this storm was, and it took us until the next morning when we really realized what happened. But during that day we were okay. It was like 10 or 11 a.m. in the morning, and once we decided that we leave the beach, we did two things. We went to get breakfast because we were hungry, and there was no breakfast, there was no coffee because there was no electricity, so we just had some snacks and some water. And Sergey went to find us a hotel. It took him 5 or 6 different hotels that he asked, and no one could give us a room because they didn't have their computers.
They didn't know if they have a room available or not. It was only one hotel that the lady and the receptionist, she said that we have one room that is probably not reserved because the AC is not working there. So this was the only room we could get in the whole place, in the whole town. And we went to buy some stuff in the supermarket. In the supermarket there was pitch black. You couldn't see anything, and people were going with their phones just with a flashlight and the phones just to see what they can buy. And you have to
cash.
Only in cash. Yeah, it was
we were lucky to have 400 euros on
yeah,
us.
it was really lucky because we don't have cash at all. And
we're here at the hotel that we found. We took a small room for all 5 of us. No air conditioning, which is okay because there's no electricity anyway. Sergey and Gal just went to the boat to get some stuff. They'll bring in everything that we need for the night and maybe for tomorrow.
so we've decided to prepare the boat a little bit better for what's coming. Although, as you can see, it looks like paradise, and I don't know if it's really going to come true, what's going to be, but we need to prepare ourselves better. We're full chain that we have, about 70 meters of chain that we dropped, and now we're going to drop another anchor, and hopefully the storm is gonna be light, and we're gonna have a swim tomorrow. That evening we saw a Coast Guard ship. They brought a lot of people from boats that were just smashed on the rocks in Giroleta, which is close by to Porto, and there were a lot of families, and we understood that it was pretty big what's going on. This beautiful place just looks like a refuge camp. Just amazing to see that. But the French are helping very much and trying to put everyone in a hotel.
We knew that it was big and that we should say something to the families, but we had no reception and no connectivity, and we didn't know how. We even approached to the police officers that came over to Porto with all the other families from Giroleta, and I asked him, do we need to register that we are okay so you will have it somewhere written? And he said, no, you don't need to do anything. So we were there, we were okay, we were more than okay, and we couldn't tell our families that we are okay. And we knew that if they'll see it, that there's a small chance that anyone in Israel will mention it, but if they will happen to see that they will be panicked. And that's when his mom saw it at 10 p.m. that night. In the morning, we figured out how we can send a message, and that's when we stopped 2 different tourists and asked them to send the messages that we're okay. So 24 hours after the storm hit and 12 hours after his mom saw it on the news, we were able to send a message that we are okay.
We were missing for 12 hours. As we were standing on this plaza, there was one guy that came to help. and we asked him if it's possible that he will send a message, and he said, you know what, you can come with me. I live 10 minutes from here and we have reception at home. Everything is okay. You can come with me and you can call your family. And that's exactly what I did. It was amazing. I came to his house, he connected to Wi-Fi, and I called my family and Adi's family, and I said that we were okay and the kids are okay, and nothing happened to us or the boat, so we were not missing anymore. And they told me that a few minutes before I called, they got the message from the tourists that we're okay. So
we just learned this place called Porto, and apparently the heat yesterday was much stronger than we thought. The beautiful bay with the red stones that we've been at got hit really, really bad. There were some boats that sank apparently. So these were all the people that we saw yesterday evening in this area. Still no reception, still no nothing. We also learned that three people died and another 10 people are missing at the moment. So we found a ride for Sergei to go to the next town, which is supposed to have Wi-Fi, and he will go there and update the family that we're okay. I really hope that they are okay and not too worried about us.
The kids found themselves what to do.
Due to the high seas, we ended up staying in Porto for 4 more days. And being us, we made it our home very, very quickly, and we just enjoyed every second of it. We went to the beach every afternoon to watch the sunset and watch the Grand Cru while it's waiting for us to come back.
One of the outcomes of the rain, that's our dinghy, the small boat we have, it's full of water. Lucky for us, we have the work power to do the cleaning, and that's exactly what they're doing. They have 2 sponges and trying to get rid of the water. Way to go, guys. I had to show you one of the coolest restaurants we've eaten so far, and Adi is sitting and waiting for the food, and this whole thing is a mini golf that comes from the restaurant, and all the kids are just playing and the parents are eating. So genius in this beautiful, beautiful place.
If you were wondering what happened with Chris and his boat that crashed ashore, well, after a few tries of getting it pulled into the water, it was up to the people on the beach to physically lift his boat and get it back into the water.
The guy with the boat that was stranded on the beach, I'm helping him for the 2nd day because he had lots of things stolen while he was stranded on the beach. And now I'm helping him to put all his things on the boat. And this is how it looks. Actually, his mast is down, and now we brought the engine that was restored, and he's trying to put the engine back to normal. And I'm trying to help him, and he helped me to release an anchor. So everybody's helping each other. He's a great guy. He's a really, really great guy.
back to where we started at the Porto beach. Today, as you can see, is a beautiful day, beautiful weather. The waves are much lower, no wind almost at all. We decided that we're gonna sail out today. So Sergey is helping Chris with his last things on his boat, and then we'll go on ours and we'll take the anchor out and we'll just sail out. Going south to more bays and then maybe to another city. We really need to get some laundry done. We have no more underwears, so if we won't do it by hand later today, we really need to find laundromat and get that done because we still don't have a washing machine at the boat. It's been a beautiful place to get stuck in, seriously. It's like gorgeous, and mountains and beach and trees, and the town is beautiful, and the people at Porto are really nice, and we're super grateful for the opportunity to get stuck here and not anywhere else. But we're also very happy to go back to our boat, to our house, and continue our journey. So wish us luck! Leaving Porto was very emotional. And just to make it even more emotional, our rescuer, the guy who got us off the boat, just passed by us yelling "Au revoir, family."
So what did we learn from this experience?
That's a good question.
Okay, let's say, let's break it to for a few stuff. I think we were handling it pretty amazing. The whole situation and the whole stressful situation, we were handling it very good. The boat was handling it very good. Yeah. And as we thought about it after it happened, the only thing that we would do in different way, it was to put the kids in the saloon upstairs and not take them to a room when they're scared and they don't know what happens.
And we don't know what happens.
And yeah, we don't know.
They need to be within an eyesight, and we all needed to wear the life vest from the get-go.
Yeah.
And even though we were stressed, it was better for them to be with us and leave the situation with us than being downstairs closed in a room. We watched all the videos afterwards, and we saw the video of Why Not, which was the boat that arrived just 15 minutes before the storm, and they were wearing the storm suits and everything, and we asked them about how they saw it coming because they knew that it was coming, and they were just looking at a different model in a different app. So I guess it could happen. You can miss this kind of weather coming. So now I wanted to give you the kids' perspective about what happened. It was a very intense situation, and we were very afraid that they will have some kind of trauma from it. So we talked about it a lot, and I asked Gal to be kind and join me now to tell us about his side of the story and how he saw everything. So I will switch to Hebrew now, and I will add the translation here, and I'll ask him some questions about it. And yeah, okay, גל. איך אתה הרגשת בזמן של הסופה?
בזמן של הסופה הרגשתי שהסירה הולכת לטבוע ושאנחנו נסיים את המסע שם, וברגע שרוח נרגעה הבנתי שזה לא.
ואיך הרגשת כשהייתם בחדר למטה?
הרגשתי נורא בפחד, כי כל החדרים החלונות הקטנים היו פתוחים, אז כל החדרים היו יכולים להיות מוצפים במים, ואז הסירה תטבע.
אוקיי. והצלחתם לראות מהחלון?
כן.
מה?
הצלחתי לראות את הסירה שנזרקה על החוף, ואיך לחצתי את ברבטו, כי כשאני בלחץ אני מלחיץ את כולם.
אוקיי, ואיך, וכשעליתם למעלה, כשהגלים נרגעו קצת ועליתם למעלה ושמנו חגורות הצלה והיית איתנו בעצם בחוץ, למרות שהסופה עדיין לא נרגעה לגמרי, מה הרגשת?
הרגשתי בחילה מהגלים הגדולים. גוף שלי שקשק מזה שאנחנו לא יודעים מה לעשות. זה.
וכשאמרנו לך שאנחנו יורדים מהסירה ומפנים?
התחלתי לצחוק, אני לא רציתי לעזוב את הבית שלי.
איך הרגשת כשאבא הרים אותך והעביר אותך לשיחה לידינו?
פחד מוות.
פחד מוות? למה?
לשחוק ב4 מטר גלים, סירה מתחתיך, אתה למעלה, וזורקים אותך אליהם.
אתה מרגיש עם זה היום?
בסדר.
בסדר? אתה עוד זוכר את זה?
כן.
בתור משהו רע או בתור חוויה שעשינו?
משהו לא כיף.
משהו לא כיף? אוקיי.
נהניתי נורא בפורטו.
נהנית בפורטו? כן? יופי. יש לך דברים שלמדת מהחוויה שעברנו שאתה רוצה לספר ולשתף?
כן. שברגע שאם קורה דבר כזה, אז אתם, גם אם אתם אומרים לנו נראה למטה, אנחנו נשארים למעלה. להסתכל טוב על המזג אוויר לפני שקורה משהו, וגם לזרוק הרבה שרשרת.
הרבה שרשרת, נכון, למה?
כדי שאם יקרה משהו, כדי שהשרשרת גם יהיה לה משקל על הרכב.
אתה יודע?